Welcome back and welcome to Lewis Field in Stillwater. Jeff Brooklary along with Eddie Johnson. Today we're going to see the Class 4A state championship game between the Carl Albert Titans and the Tahlequah Tigers. And Eddie, both of these teams really like to run the ball.
Both of these teams are running teams. And you know, Jeff, this is what it's all about. This is the state championship 4A. Each team practices from the beginning of the year to reach this point. Every 4A team in the state wants to reach this point where Tahlequah and Carl Albert is today. And one of them is going to be the best in the state today.
That's right. The number one team in Class 4A. Of course, the defending champions have not returned this year. We'll talk about that a little bit when we get into the game. But two new teams in the championship game this year, and it'll be fun to see who comes out on top.
It's going to be very interesting. Both of them have a rushing team. I know that the Titans from Carl Albert has their front line goes 260 pounds, and they're called the Clydesdales. So they're going to be giving a lot of fits in their blocking to the Tahlequah.
Now, so far in postseason play, Tahlequah has run the ball on an average of more than 1,000 yards per game.
Right.
So that's a little indication of what we might see today.
And they only threw 18 times in these 3 playoff games that they had so far.
All right. Well, when we come back, we'll give you the starting lineups and the opening kickoff here on TV 47. Welcome to Lewis Field in Stillwater. Jeff Brooklary along with Eddie Johns to bring you today's action. Class 4A state championship game between Tahlequah and Albert High School from Midwest City. Here's the opening kickoff. Tahlequah kicks it to Carl Albert. Running it back for the Titans. Number 3, Damon Turner. And he's stopped quickly by Justin Sexton. As we came on the broadcast, you heard the Tahlequah High School Marching Band performing under the direction of Harvey Price, the Assistant Director Carol Ice. That band will be on its way to the Gator Bowl, 1990 Gator Bowl in Jacksonville. All right, here we go. First play from scrimmage. The ball is at the 26-yard line. On a handoff, trying to go just to the right side of center. Quarterbacking for the Titans is Chad Strickland, wearing number 9.
Tackle near the 30-yard line.
Bobby Jackson on the carry.
We're going to see a lot of power plays by Carl Albert. They got some real tough running backs.
Take a look at the starting offensive lineup for Carl Albert. James Sullivan at tight end, Sidney Buford at right tackle, Jay Buck at guard. Snapping the ball is James Stovall. Robert Dunning as the left guard, and the left tackle Terry Armstrong with the split end Mark Folks. Sending a man in motion on the handoff. This time, Russell Barron takes the ball, running just to the left. He picks up a couple of yards on the play, out close to the first down marker.
Jeff, Tahlequah got to stop these two backs that Carl Albert has, and that's Russ Berryman and Bobby Jackson. They're real tough.
The backfield for Carl Albert looks like this. Chad Strickland, as we said, the quarterback wearing number 9. Bobby Jackson, a running back. Russell Barron is another running back. And Jimmy Hudson at flanker. And a handoff this time, going right up the middle. And it looks like they pick up the first down this time. Bobby Jackson on the carry, number 42.
It's a second down, Jeff. They already
picked they did pick up that first down. I'm sorry, I'm behind a play here. Well, I knew it was out close to the first down, but I didn't see them move the marker. I was busy reading the lineup.
We want to mention also that the coach at Tahlequah, Charles Cooper, is in his 10th year. 11 wins, 2 losses this year. His overall average is 178 wins and 93 losses.
Here we go. It'll be 2nd and 8. Ball on the 39-yard line for the Titans. On a handoff. This time going to Russell Barron. And Barron gets out close to the 45. Tackled by Jeff Bollinger.
You're seeing right now ball-controlled football, power football right now.
Yeah, Eddie, a lot of running, and with the wind whipping up as it is today, I don't think we're going to see the ball in the air an awful lot. It is very windy out here today.
And cold.
And cold. 3rd and 3. On the handoff to Barron again. Barron this time trying to go up the middle. Looks like he might be real close to picking up that first down, Eddie. His forward progress put him right about the first down marker, but then he was pushed back a little bit.
Oh, they stopped him good. That's good defensive playing right there.
Watch it again. Let's see how far he goes.
This is just a fake to the fullback, give to the halfback, and he goes up there, and you see a solid wall there to stop him, saying, hey, that's it. You're not going any further. Carl Albert back to punt now.
Russ Barron on that carry. Now, of course, it'll be 4th and less than a yard, but Albert will punt it away, and a feeble punt just gets over the 45-yard line into Tahlequah territory, down at about the 40. And that's where the Tahlequah Tigers will take over when we come back here on TV 47. As we come back to the action, let's take a look at the starting. Well, we're going to take a look at the first play, first of Tahlequah. It is a handoff right up the middle. Carrying the ball is Greg Barnes of the Tigers, Eddie. Getting the ball from quarterback Dwayne Hammer. Let's take a look at the offensive starters now. In the offensive line for the Tigers, Keith Roselle at tight end. The right tackle is Rod Swank. Rusty Medlin at right guard. Hiking the ball is Tad Teehee. Shelby Stacy at left guard. Jeff Bollinger at tackle, and split end is Fred Baker. On a pitch out, this time going around the left side is Greg Reisenhuber. Reisenhuber carries the ball around the left side, Eddie, but doesn't get much running room.
Boy, they were waiting for him on this. This is the all-option play, which is a bread and butter play in this high school football that we've seen this year.
The backfield for Tahlequah, Dwayne Hammer at quarterback, Greg Reisenhuber at tailback. Fullback is Greg Barnes and George Hilligoss at the flanker position. Third and about 4 yards, and let's see how far they got, Eddie. Not very far as Reisenhuber carries that ball and trying to go through the line of scrimmage.
You're seeing some good defensive playing out there from both teams, and I'll tell you, both teams are keyed up for this game, Jeff, because this is the big one.
As we see one of the mascots there, the Tahlequah Tiger in his cage. Interesting, I've never seen that at a high school game. I've seen it, of course, at college games several times. 4th and 3, so Tahlequah will have to punt the ball away. They had great field position after the Carl Albert punt, but were unable to move the ball. And here's the punt. And a good one. Oh, a good one by the Tahlequah punter, and that one rolls all the way down into the end zone.
Okay, it's just, they get the ball on the 20-yard line.
It was a touchback. It did get into the end zone.
Right.
So, thought maybe they might have touched it before it went over the line even.
Here we're going to see, it was a real good punt, real good punt. They did touch it before it went over the end zone, but if Tahlequah gets that ball in the end zone, it's a touchdown.
Right.
Right now it's a touchback, so Carl Albert gets it on the 20-yard line.
The Titans did have to fall on that and recover it, because after they touched it, it was open ball.
It's open ball, anybody's ball.
Yeah. 1st and 10, the ball is at the 20-yard line, of course. Trying to go right up the middle was Bobby Jackson.
Jackson and Berryman carries the ball an awful lot for them, and they have a lot of good yardage this year. As they had a good schedule this year. They played teams like Lawton, MacArthur, Duncan, U.S. Grant, Woodward, El Reno, Western Heights, Noble, Star Spencer, Northeast, and Guthrie.
Charles Cooper, we saw a shot of, the head coach of the Tahlequah team, on a pitch out. This time it is Berrien carrying the ball, finding some running room, Eddie, all the way up to about the 37 or 38-yard line.
Boy, he had some excellent blocking on that, too.
Greg Barnes on the tackle.
This is just a power play right. Power play right. You can see where they get out. There's a good block right there from his halfback. And here he breaks a tackle here, and he keeps going, and he wants that yardage. He said, I'm going. I need it. This is the state playoff, and I want to get that goal line.
A couple of spin moves.
Real good running.
1st and 10. The ball is on the 37. On a quarterback draw. This time handing it off to Berrien. Berrien gets out close to the midfield area, about where the Oklahoma State University logo is.
Jeff, we were talking about this front line of Carl Albert too before the game. They average 261 pounds, that front line. They're mighty big, and you can see why they opened some big holes up for those backs. And those backs look like they got the speed to do something with those holes opening too.
That's for sure. Here we go, 2nd and 2. It is Jackson this time. Checks it out over the 50, all the way down inside the 40-yard line before he is tackled by Marcus Hendricks down at about the 40-yard line of Tahlequah, Eddie.
This is just a power play right up the middle to the old fullback. And boy, he gets some good blocking to get him going. And you can see him breaking some tackles right there. And boy, he picks up a 1st down right there. Good running again.
As I mentioned in the pregame show, Eddie, the defending champion in 4A, McAllister, was unable to return to the championship game this year. And here we go on a running play. This year we see that was Russell Berrien on the carry, tackled by Jeff Cottrell. And then in the 5A game as well, Eddie, the defending champion Midwest City will not be returning. You'll see that game here on TV. Well, let's see. you will have saw this game, that game, last week on TV 47. This one being tape delayed on a Monday evening. You're watching us in Tahlequah, and on Channel 47, you're watching us on Saturday morning. 2nd and 4 now. The ball is at the 34-yard line. And a little bit of running there. Not very far, Eddie. Picks up a couple of yards on that play. Was Berrien again. As we look at the Tahlequah sideline and Tahlequah cheerleaders, they must be cold.
Oh, they are.
And if you look at their hair and their skirts, you can tell how windy it is. As they say in baseball, the flag is practically stiff, blowing straight out. Here we go, the handoff again to Berrien. He carries this time, barely getting back to the line of scrimmage. Jeff Cottrell again on the tackle.
Those are just power sweeps, Jeff. They're hitting each end with power sweeps and getting some good blocking, and they're just chunking that yardage away as they go. You can see the shadow on the field, how it is going up towards the other end, and that's a relief. Once that sun hits those players, you can feel the difference, and those poor cheerleaders are standing in that shade down there.
Well, and Albert is facing the shade. It's 4th down, 2 yards to go. And is that a timeout or it is a timeout, but the Carl Albert coach doesn't look real happy. They're going to take a timeout. We'll take a break as well. We'll be right back. No score. 4th down and 2 yards to go. The ball at the 32-yard line of Tahlequah. Carl Albert appears like they're going to go for it, Eddie.
Oh, this is what they played to get to, this state championship game, and they said, now listen, we're not going to play conservative. We got the team that can do it. Tahlequah saying, now listen, we got here, and we're not going to give them it. So it's a big fight out there.
All right, well, the backs were, I was going to say the backs are in an eye position. Tahlequah calling a timeout now. So we got another break, Eddie. Tahlequah calls a timeout. So far this game, we really have seen exactly what we've expected. A lot of running, some very good defense by both squads. Both teams playing some decent defense and covering the ball carriers quite well, not allowing anybody to get into the secondary really as of yet. Jackson had that nice run that we replayed, that he spun and turned and picked up some yardage out to the 50-yard line there, or close over to the 50, down to about the 45. And
this is like a big chess game. Now see, Carl Albert called timeout. They showed a formation, and then Tahlequah, after they lined up, Tahlequah said, well, wait a minute, let's call timeout and see if they change their mind. So now they talk timeout, and they're trying to psych each other out right now and saying, okay, try not to guess the other coach.
And it looks like now maybe they're about ready to resume action. 4th and 2, I formation for the Titans. Quarterback sneak right up the middle, and I think he's got it, Eddie.
It looked like he got it. Oh, that was wide open. That was wide open. Well, you know, a lot of that, Jeff, could be an option. And what I mean by that is the quarterback could have had a play called, but when he comes up there, when the defense shifts, he can see and say, oh my goodness, that hole's open. And he and the center can work together, like I used to work together a lot, you know, with my center. And we just called audibles. And that's what I feel maybe he did right now. When he's seen that shift, that opened good.
Well, they're measuring as we watch. And they do by half a ball. Half the length of that football. They get the first down as we watch it again, Eddie.
And he's behind those big old Clydesdales that makes the run. And we see a sign over there, Jeff, where it says, feed the Clydesdales. And that's what they call the front four of Carl Albert High School. They're big boys. Feed the Clydesdales.
Chad Strickland, the quarterback, under center now for Carl Albert. Hands it off again, this time going up the middle. It was Bobby Jackson.
Bobby Jackson brought down by David Hall.
There you get a shot at the guys on the sideline. It's a little cold out there, but once you get in that game and get that adrenaline going, I mean, you forget about the cold weather because, like I say again, I keep stressing, this is what the whole thing is all about.
That's quarterback Dwayne Hammer of the Tigers. He's sitting there getting ready and waiting for his chance to go in on offense. 2nd and 7. Jackson carrying, finds some open running room, and a flag is thrown on the play.
And it looked like unnecessary roughness because there's only one man out there, and all I seen was a bunch of white jerseys around there, which could be piling on. So, whoa! Against Carl Albert.
It was. We got the preliminary indication. I saw him motion like this, and I'm not real sure what the, Oh,
that's a big one.
Was it a clipping call? Oh, I didn't see him. Okay, it could have been a clipping call. Yeah.
Well, that was 15.
I didn't see him clip his leg. Ah, there he goes. Okay.
15 big ones, Jeff.
Whew. Carl Albert now losing quite a bit of yardage on that penalty.
I didn't see who was the culprit on that either. Did you happen to see?
No, I didn't.
I only seen one player out there with all those white jerseys around him.
It'll be 2nd and 13. The ball at the 33 for the Titans. On a pitch, Berrien with the ball.
Good defensive playing.
Jeff Cottrill again. Boy, we see Cottrill making a lot of tackles so far in this game. No score here in the first quarter of play. Only about a minute 15 left to go now in this first quarter.
You know, we want to mention also that Al Miller I'm not sure that's not Coach Miller. I didn't mean to say it at that time when they had it on there, but Al Miller, the coach of Carl Albert's in his 10th year, 161 wins, 47 losses, and 1 tie, Jeff.
And both teams coming into the ball game today, 11-2 on the season. Strickland looking.
Good tackle.
Oh man, he was looking to throw, Eddie, before he was tackled over on the right side. And we're going to take another look at that. He was rolling to the right.
Okay, here's where he goes back. He drops back, and then he starts rolling over to the right. He sees that it's covered. So what he does is he wants to get out of that pocket. He said, which he should have stayed in that pocket a little longer. He goes running out there, and this is a beautiful open field tackle, that's called, Jeff. That's beautiful. Well defensed. Good playing on Tahlequah's part right there.
Great defense on both sides today, Eddie. 4th and 20 now. The ball at the 40-yard line. So the Titans will have to punt it away as clock ticks down. 10 seconds left to go in this first quarter. Ball rolling inside the 10 and goes out of bounds at about the 8-yard line.
This kick goes out of bounds.
Goes out of bounds at the, well, they're going to spot it at the 10, it looks like, where they're placing it.
Jeff, I'm noticing on these kicks, I'll tell you, I hope the kids, when they watch this, they're going to see something. When that ball, when it's not catchable and it starts bouncing around, get an offense, you get away from that ball, because if that touches somebody, that ball's live and can get it. And I noticed 2 times when I punt now, I've seen Tahlequah players go around that ball. Get away from that ball when it's bouncing around and there's people around it.
All right, Eddie, 4 seconds on the clock. This should be the last play of the quarter. Here it is. And a pitch out. The ball going to Craig Reisenhoover, and that's the end of the first quarter. No score here in Stillwater. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're getting ready to start the second quarter in the shadow of a light standard. And running the ball out to the 15-yard line is quarterback Dwayne Hammer, keeping it, Eddie. Russell Berrien on the tackle. Watch it again.
This is an option right here where he fakes the fullback and he sees. You see that hand coming real quick? So he keeps that. And he makes some good yardage. That's good ball handling, good running, and good thinking. And also good tackling.
We'd like to thank NSU Television, Channel 4 in Tahlequah Cable, for airing this broadcast this evening here on Tahlequah Cable down there. This time on the carry, it's number 35, Greg Barnes. John Porter makes the tackle. Barnes picks up a few yards on that play, and it'll be, it looks like 4th and 1. Well, 4th and 2, actually, I think.
Yeah, Jeff, we are real thankful for an NSU picking it up on their Channel 4. That's an educational station, and they picked it up for us, and we want to thank also Tim Baker, who's an attorney, and he's also the president of the Booster Club. We work things out with him, too, and we just say thanks a lot there, people, for working with TV 47.
All right, quarterback Dwayne Hammer now. Officials called a little official timeout there, reset their own clocks. They're going to punt now on 4th and, well, about 1.5, really. Boy, not a very good punt again. Almost out to the midfield stripe.
Real good coverage.
And taken down there was, let's see here, number 1, Chris Tillman, yeah. Chris Tillman of Carl Elbert. Greg Barnes on the tackle.
Now, Jeff, you see the difference when you catch that ball. That was a line drive kick, and he caught that ball without it bouncing around in it. And if he wouldn't, that ball looked like it would have made another 10, 15 yards.
Officials again are stalling the play. Tahlequah High School is located in northeastern Oklahoma, the foothills of the Ozarks. A college-bound curriculum is offered at Tahlequah High School, honors curriculum, anatomy and physiology, which is a course, of course, that is not offered at very many high schools, mostly a college course. And vocational courses also offered at Tahlequah. We'd like to say hi to Principal Gary Gore, Vice Principal Marlon Fox, and the superintendent down there is Otis Levette. So, hello to everybody in the Tahlequah area watching us today on TV 47 for this high school football game, and Channel 47 salutes Oklahoma education.
And we salute Channel 4 that's carrying the game, too.
Channel 4, NSU TV in Tahlequah.
That is an
Okay,
educational.
how many plugs are we going to give them?
Okay, well, a lot.
All right.
We really appreciate what they've done.
Eddie, we're going to introduce our sideline reporter. No, we're not.
He's down there.
Well, anyway, we will introduce our sideline reporter. Jeff Bowen is our sideline reporter, and we'll be going to him during the game and get some comments from him on the sidelines as he gets a little closer view of the game. Bobby Jackson on that carry on first down. And I think we're going to go down and see Jeff Bowen right now and see what he has in mind.
During the last defensive series, David Hallmark was injured for Tahlequah. He's got a little bit of daze. He was hit in the head. They say he'll be out of probably another 2 series. So we'll see if he gets back into the game before the end of the first half. Back to Jeff.
All right, well, thank you very much, Jeff. And of course, I did see that David Hallmark walking off the field carrying his helmet and not wearing it, but I didn't notice him getting injured. There's a nice pass right over the middle, all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Pass is complete to Garrett Davis, before he's taken down by Greg Barnes.
Perfect play. You can see Pope going back there like that, and I'll tell you, he waits. Look how he is waiting in that huddle. I mean, waiting in that there pocket. And boy, he just throws that ball and drills it. And beautiful, beautiful play. Well-timed passing and everything. Okay, that was Strickland. I'm sorry on that.
All right, Strickland dropping now to throw. Looking on the right side. He has an open man in the end zone. Oh, baby, touchdown! Russell Berrien.
Open the barn door. Weezy of Pigskin coming home. What a picture-perfect play. Here we go. He goes back up. Jeff, this is what's so important of staying in that there pocket. And he just stays there. He just takes a step up. Look at the protection he has. And boom, he puts that baby in the air. And I'll tell you, it was a perfect pass. Perfect catch. Boy, I'll tell you, can't say enough on that one play right there.
And the extra point is good, so Carl Albert on the board first, 7-0. They lead Tahlequah. We'll be back. As we return to the action there after the touchdown pass, 29 yards from Strickland to Berrien, putting Carl Albert on the scoreboard first, 7-0 as they lead Tahlequah. 9:20 left to go in the second quarter of play. We have the first quarter up, a little fumble there on the kickoff, recovered by Tahlequah, and down at about the 23-yard line, Craig Reisenhuber. We got the first quarter totals, Eddie, to pass along. Of course, no score in the first quarter. First downs, Tahlequah had 9. Carl Albert with only 4 yards rushing. For 2 and 17 for 74.
That's why you were hesitating. That's what I thought too, Jeff. That might be some mistakes right there.
Well, I guess not. Craig Reisenhuber on that carry. And we're going to go down to Jeff on the sideline and see what Jeff Bowen has to tell us.
This is Sierra, and she's going to be the pet tiger for Tahlequah tonight. Right now trailing 7-0. I think they need all the help they can get. I think Sierra's ready to go back in her cage. Back up to you, Jeff.
All right, thank you very much, Jeff, and be careful down there. Don't get bit. So I guess
we're going to have to check on that yardage.
4 carries for 2 yards for Tahlequah and 17 carries on 74 yards for Carl Albert is the way it reads here. Tahlequah now with a pass over in the right flat. And I think that was number 15. Let's watch it again, Eddie.
Hammer goes back there and he sets up great. Boy, and he hits the receiver over there. Watch these steps he makes. He has some good moves right here to pick that extra yardage up to get that extra. They need that for that first down.
And it was.
And that was a great play.
Split in Brett Baker on the reception,
Good
Eddie.
catch, Baker.
But it was just about at the line of scrimmage, as I mentioned, in the flat. First and, no, I'm sorry, he picked up the first down. It'll be 1st and 10 now. Greg Barnes on the carry for the Tigers.
He ran into a wall right there. I'll tell you, both teams are playing their heart out, Jeff, because this means so much to, this is the state championship. Nothing else after this.
Mark Folks on the tackle. No passing in that first quarter of play, Eddie. We didn't see the ball in the air once. We have a couple of times now in this second quarter. Total offensive yards, of course, as I mentioned, 2 yards. Tahlequah, 74 for Carl Albert. Tahlequah now, Hammer on the handoff. Oh, and the ball is popped out. And falling on it. Number 28.
Here we're going to see it again. This is a handoff.
78, excuse me, Jay Buck.
And boy, he is met solid up there with a bruising tackle right there by 44.
Yeah, Garrett Davis.
And who recovered that, Jeff?
Jay Buck.
Jay Buck. All right.
And Greg Barnes on the carry.
Tahlequah got to dig in right now. You know, they've got to stop this drive.
Carl Albert now will take over on offense.
Good play.
The handoff going to Jackson this time, Bobby Jackson.
That looked like an old scissor series we had in football where both backs crisscrossed and the one got it and Carl Albert was ready for it.
Matt Rader on the tackle. Bobby Jackson is a 6'2", 220-pound senior running back from Midwest City.
Both teams got some good-sized players.
2nd and 10. Back to throw is Strickland. He had an open man on the sideline, but underthrew it. It was knocked down, Eddie.
Boy, now that was almost intercepted, I'll tell you.
Chad Hendricks.
Here he is. He does some good faking here again. I like the way Chad Strickland is doing that faking and all that. He throws it out there, and it should have been an interception, Jeff. It should have been an interception, and
well, his open receiver over there on that side, I believe, was Garrett Davis. And Davis was really kind of open, and then all of a sudden Hendricks came out of nowhere to knock that ball down and almost make the interception. High formation, it'll be 3rd and 10.
Look at that.
This time the carry by Berrien. Berrien all the way down to the 25-yard line before Gerard Hammer, I should say. Gerard Hammer makes the tackle.
I didn't mean to say that when you were announcing, John. So I just seen a big hole. I mean, they are opening some big holes up there. And I said, look at that big hole.
Yeah, well, it's like sitting at home and watching the game.
Yeah.
You know, when you see something, or if you sit in the stands and you watch the game, you see something, you're going to say it. But we're going to take a break with a break in the action here. Our score is 7-0. Carl Albert leads. Back to the action here at Lewis Field in Stillwater. It is a sunny afternoon on a Saturday, December 2nd. When you're watching it, it'll either be Monday evening or Saturday afternoon now. 6:05 left to go in this first half of play. Our score is 7-0. Carl Albert of Midwest City leading Tahlequah High School. 4th down, 4 yards to go. The ball at the 26-yard line. As Midwest City,
they're going for it again.
Midwest City Albert is going to throw. Strickland finds the open man. It's Berrien, and Berrien is all the way inside the 15. Marcus Hendricks on that tackle.
Jeff, you got to see this catch on this play. This is something. I'm very impressed, number one, with Strickland, how he stays in that pocket. And you can see that pressure coming in on him. And watch this catch. I mean, this takes concentration and keeping your eye on that ball to catch something like that with that defender in front of him putting his eye up there. That was a great play. I like the way Strickland is staying in that pocket too, Jeff. You see what you can do when you stand up. When you run out of that pocket, look out. You're getting yourself open for game. They get after you.
Strickland, a very impressive quarterback. 1st down and 10. Now the ball at the 14. On the carry, it's Berrien this time running on the right side. He picked up about, 4 or 5 yards on that carry. About 4 yards on that carry. Eddie Greg Barnes on the tackle.
And again, he's having some good blocking out there. We've got a Tahlequah player shaking up out there, Jeff.
My fault. He actually picked up 7 yards on that carry.
There's your buddy, Jeff.
Well, I'll tell you, earlier I said that when we got a shot of the real tiger, the live tiger, one of the mascots on the sideline I mentioned, and there's the other one. That's another tiger. This tiger doesn't walk on all fours, however.
Jeff, I got to mention this. I don't know if the people know this or not. You don't want me to say anything about it? The mascot at the Breaker game, did you know that person? Okay, we won't mention it.
I know him, but I'm not supposed to tell everybody what his name is.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, I just knew you knew him, and I just wanted to say, But anyway.
All of us that work with the Fast Breakers know who he is, but we try not to let the general public know.
Okay.
And there's the carry inside. Right over the line of scrimmage goes Jackson.
That's just a power play.
Don't worry about it. I'll get that shoe out of your mouth later.
Way to go, Jeff. I was very impressed when I found out. Very impressed who the mascot was. I really was.
I guess he's
Because that mascot's very popular.
He gets a lot of compliments. And
Very popular.
He does. He works quite hard at what he does. Here we go. It'll be 3rd down and 1 yard to go for the first down at the 5, and they get it. They get the first down, and down around the 2-yard line as Strickland carries the ball himself.
Yeah, Strickland keeping the ball.
I'll tell you,
Oh, that was a neat shot. Look at that shot, Eddie. With the sun in the background as we get a silhouette of the tight.
I was hoping we could have got that shot, and I'd have showed you that the other players on the line was up when that. There it is again. You can see it.
Now Strickland
If you see what I'm talking
going
about.
straight in, and it is a touchdown.
Open the door. Open the barn door. We see another pigskin coming home.
This time Chad Strickland from 2 yards out takes it in himself.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. See, it's the quarterback in the center that's working fantastic together. When they get up there, it's the center just giving that ball back there immediately. He's probably, this sounds crazy, but I used to goose, okay, my center when I wanted that ball and something like that when no one else knew about it, okay? And he knew when I did that we were supposed to go straight ahead.
All right, here we go. The extra point down and up, and it is good. So Carl Albert now leading in the ballgame 14-0. The Titans on top of the Tigers. 4:23 left to go in this first half of play. And quarterback Chad Strickland takes that ball in from 2 yards out all by himself.
Okay, and we know that Tahlequah is not done. I mean, it's just 14 points. Tahlequah had 7 shutouts this year against their opponents, which some of the opponents, Muskogee was one of the opponents, and Muskogee of 518 did not score on Tahlequah until the 3rd quarter, and the game was only 13-0. So we know Tahlequah has the potential of coming back fast and strong. Like I say again, they had 7 shutouts, and they're a good team. They're a good team. That's right. I wanted to make sure I was right on those 7 shutouts, and they had 7 shutouts.
Well, so far I've been impressed with both of these teams, but most impressed with the Carl Albert squad thus far, being able to carry the ball quite a bit. Quarterback Chad Strickland, of course, doing a fine job at quarterback, and now he has put the ball in the air as he. Now, we must mention as we're looking at the field on your television sets, the wind is blowing. I don't know, it's been changing, hasn't it? It's variable.
It goes all kind of ways.
It was going from left to right earlier, and that's why when Midwest City Albert was going from right to left, they weren't throwing the ball. Now, as Strickland had the wind to his back, he decided to throw a little bit more. I noticed going the other way. Right now, the wind is blowing crossways across the field from the Tahlequah bench over to the Albert bench. A very... very cold afternoon and very windy. Been dealing with a sore throat all week, I think from last week's game up there in Adair.
Oh my goodness, that was a cold game. I mean, we had nothing around us except cold wind blowing everywhere.
Well, I think that night after we left, they ice skated on the field. They had a hockey game, I think, after we left that night.
This would give an idea of the wind on the field, Jeff. It just blew that ball off the tee.
Well, I'm no meteorologist or weather vane, to say the least, but I would estimate the winds right now at about 15 to 20, gusting at 30 to 35. Now here we go on the kickoff return. Some wide open running room for Tahlequah's Shane Turley. Was it 45 or 44? 45, okay. My fault then. It was Jared Hammer, or Gerard. I'll get that name right. Let's watch it again, Eddie, on the kickoff.
This was a low kickoff. Took a couple bounces, and who did you say had that ball now?
Gerard Hammer.
Hammer has the ball. Okay, he does some good running here. Of course, there's some good blocking. There you see an excellent block throw. Here you see some other. He shakes that tackle, shakes another tackle. Boom! You see another block throw. Boy, that's some good run in there.
Back to the live action now on a handoff to Greg Barnes, and Barnes getting down inside the 25-yard line. He picks up about 5 yards on that carry.
Hey, this is what I'm saying. I'm sorry, go ahead, Jeff.
I'm sorry, Eddie. He was tackled there by Robert Dunning, number 76 of Carl Albert.
Tahlequah has the explosiveness to get right back in that game. That is a Titan, isn't it?
There's the Carl Albert mascot, the Titan. Tahlequah sends a man in motion on the right side, but it's a pitch this time to Shane. I'm still looking at the wrong number, maybe. It is Shane Turley this time. I was right that time. Shane Turley is a junior, 5'10", 160-pounder that plays split end, plays strong safety on defense, Eddie, and right there we saw him playing from the running back position. He went flanker and went in motion. Two running backs. This time it's a handoff on the left side.
That's just a power play right up the middle.
Carrying the ball, Craig Reisenhuber.
There, we're going to see it right here. Right up the, look at that. Fullback right up the middle. Boom. And he knows what to do when he gets that ball. And he takes a couple people right with him. Good running. Tahlequah's very explosive. I mean, they got 2 touchdowns scored on them. And they're saying, hey, listen, we know what we can do. And we're going to show people.
Well, the game certainly isn't over yet as the quarterback hands it off. Reisenhuber again. Quarterback fakes and goes to the right as Reisenhuber goes to the left on a draw play and a fade.
Reisenhuber this year had 18 points that he scored. That's 3 touchdowns, I guess. And he was one of the leading ball carriers this year for them.
This time it is the quarterback Hammer.
Boy, that was some good defensive playing right there.
Unable to get much running room, Eddie. Taken down just about a yard short of the line of scrimmage.
On that option play, Jeff, as soon as you see that end make his break for you, get rid of it. Get rid of it. Let that running back run. Of course, it'll save you from getting hit a lot. And the running backs are used to getting hit. You know, you got to save that quarterback.
It'll be 3rd down and 8. Ball at the 11 of Albert. Tahlequah now threatening. See what they do. They elect to throw. It's Hammer finding an open man in the end zone, but unable to hang on to it there. Was, let's see here, Keith Roselle. And Roselle.
Here we're going to see it again. This is just a fake. He comes back there, Hammer sets, and he throws 2 men in the same area. And right out of his hands, too.
It was Roselle, and I couldn't see what that other number was from the other receiver who looked like they were sandwiching that Albert player. I'll tell you, it's unusual being as far away from the field as we are today. They'll attempt a field goal here. 1:34 left to go in this first half.
Looks good.
And it is. No. Oh. Where'd it go? Oh, it went over to the right. I see. Like I said, this is a totally different vantage point than what we are used to, Eddie.
How far are we from the field, Jeff?
About 1.5 miles. In high school football.
I think there's over 90 steps.
In high school, yeah, no. There's got to be a lot more than that.
I mean, not counting where we're at. It's 90 steps to the first tier up here, you know, where the boosts begin. And then from there up, man, we're way up there.
So this is a new, more or less a new experience for both Eddie and me. I know that.
Me too.
Oh, I've been in major stadiums all around the country and major press boxes, but not to call a football game. All right, on 1st and 10, on a pass that goes out of bounds, intended there for Russell Berrien, but a little overthrown and out of bounds.
I'll tell you, I'm very impressed with Chad Strickland, how he is staying in that there huddle. There you get Al Miller telling his boys, okay, here's what we're going to do. Al, I just appreciate the cooperation I received from the high school admin, Carl Albert. Gloria, if she's watching, she's one of the secretaries. She took me everywhere I had to go to get the information. And same with Tahlequah. I had very good cooperation from Gary Gore, the principal.
On second down, a draw play and a handoff. This
And a
time
flag.
Marion gets out back over the line of scrimmage with a flag being thrown in the backfield. In Albert's own backfield, it looks like illegal procedure possibly back there, some backfield motion.
That was called by our executive producer. Illegal motion. I never played on this kind of turf, Jeff. I don't know. I just sooner have the grass and I don't know. It just when I was walking down there, it just feels like you're walking on a bunch of foam, rubber, and all that. Yeah, it takes a lot of knee. I don't know. What was the statistics of with the knee operations compared to the grass? I don't know. It didn't seem as much with the knee situation before. There's no giving down there. Of course, you got your...
It is a different kind of playing surface.
Got your different shoes, too. Minute 5 seconds.
Third down and 6, the ball at the 24-yard line. 1 minute left to go in this first half of play. On the handoff, it's Jackson this time, carrying the ball. We're on the left side. He found a little bit of an opening, but he was met there. Greg Barnes, the free safety for Tahlequah, making the tackle. Making the stop, actually. I don't know if they can even tackle Jackson. You got to grab Jackson by a shoelace in order to tackle him.
Jackson's a big boy. What's the statistics on Jackson?
6'2", 220-pound senior. And you're talking about playing on AstroTurf. I played on AstroTurf quite a few times, but I was playing trumpet. 28 seconds left to go in this first half now. It'll be 1st and 10, the ball at the 31. On a quick handoff right up the middle. Jackson again on that carry. The clock is ticking down.
And the crowd is very, very...
10 seconds.
There's the noise is not there is what I'm saying. It's very still.
Well, we have a high school stadium crowd at a college stadium, Eddie. I mean,
there it is. Listen, that's what I was listening for.
Good following, and that's the end of the first half of play. Our score is the Carl Albert Titans 14, Tahlequah Tigers nothing, and we'll be right back.
Coach Miller, you dodged a little bit of a bullet with a missed field goal to retain your 14-0 lead. Are you pleased with the way you've controlled the football so far?
Yeah, I really am. Our old kids are coming off the ball real good, playing good physical football. If we just keep playing, take care of business, we'll be all right.
You going to make any changes for the second half?
Well, I hope not. I think we're doing all right. We just keep up the same stuff.
Okay, well, good luck in the second half. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Back to the booth.
All right, well, thank you very much. That's Jeff Bowen, our sideline reporter, helping us out on the game today. And Jeff speaking with the head coach of Carl Albert High School. That's Al Miller. And we'd like to thank Coach Miller for taking a couple of minutes there to talk to us before he has an opportunity to run into the locker room and give his team a halftime speech. At halftime, our score is 14-0. Albert leads Tahlequah. We'll be back to meet the Coca-Cola Academic All-Star.
Once upon a time, there was a guy named Goldilocks who was thirsting for refreshment. But this one, and this one. So then he moved to Diet Coke, and it was just right. The real cola taste you could drink more of because it's just 1 calorie.
Hey, somebody's been drinking our Diet Coke. Yeah. And there he is. Hey, it's the Three Bears. What's up? Yeah. That's the taste of it.
Welcome back to the half. It's time now to meet our Coca-Cola Academic All-Star. This is Chad Eric Davis, and Chad is from Albert High School, right? In Midwest City. And the other guy on the other side that we usually have with us, we always have two, of course, from Tahlequah, it is Greg Barnes, and Greg is number 35 on the Tahlequah Tigers football team. So that's why he's not up here in the booth with us right now. We'd like to first mention a little bit about Greg. He's the Academic All-American. He's on the National and Oklahoma Honor Society. He ranks number 1 out of a class of 248. He's a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, many other activities, and of course he's a fullback with the Tahlequah Tigers football team. Now Chad Eric Davis is standing with me right now. He's from Carl Albert from Midwest City. And Chad, what do you hope to pursue in your career?
Well, I plan on going to OU and majoring in engineering, just trying to get my degree and be an engineer.
Right now you're what ranked as number 3 in your class?
Yes.
Well, congratulations on that. Some of the awards and honors that you've had, maybe you could mention.
Well, this is a great award here, and I've been on the baseball and basketball team.
That's right, you're an athlete too, and do you find it hard to maybe fit in the studies as well as practices all the time? I mean, being on baseball and basketball, you're busy during a couple of different seasons.
Yeah, it's hard, but I just try to get my priorities straight. Books come first. Athletics is always next after that.
Well, congratulations on receiving this award, and good luck in your future at OU and then on when you become an engineer.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations very much. Eddie Johns is going to join me now as we talk about the first half stats. And of course, the Academic All-Stars are brought to you by Coca-Cola. We'd like to thank them for their sponsorship of that. And Eddie, as we thought earlier in the game, it's going to be a running game. And sure enough, so far it has been, although Albert has put the ball up in the air a little bit.
I was very impressed with this Strickland, that the way he is putting that ball up in the air. He's staying in that pocket, and he is pinpointing that ball, too. And now what has to get together now with Tahlequah is they have to get their game, now you forget about your game plan. You got to go out and you want to win right now. And Tahlequah got to get out here. Number 1 is stop Strickland. Don't give him the amount of time that he's getting to throw that passes.
Well, on the second to the last series here that Tahlequah had, they got all the way inside the 10-yard line, and I thought, well, this is their opportunity now. And unfortunate for them, they had the penalty and a couple other incidents that were unable to get the ball inside. They attempted the field goal, and the field goal was not good. It was wide to the right. So they had their opportunity, and they missed it. Now, if you're the coach of Tahlequah, what do you got to be saying to your guys?
Yeah, Tahlequah, you got to remember, they're a powerful team. They had 7 shutouts this year, and they can come back. They have the potential of coming back mighty strong. So the coach is just going to say, hey, remember, we didn't get here by accident. We got here by people. And now let's get out there and do a job.
All right, well, hopefully in the second half they will do a job. We plan to see a better second half. Let's hope. Now, Carl Albert playing a great game thus far. I don't think they're going to let down at all, as Jeff had spoken with Coach Al Miller there in the beginning of our halftime show. And so I don't think they're going to slow down one bit. We're going to see a great second half. Stay tuned for that. Right now our score is Carl Albert 14, Tahlequah nothing, and we'll be right back with the second half kickoff. To Lewis Field in Stillwater. We're getting set to bring you the second half of this game between the Carl Albert Titans and the Tahlequah Tigers. Right now our score, Carl Albert leading 14-0 over Tahlequah, as the teams are just coming back onto the field. Let's tell you a little bit. I got to correct myself first. In the pregame show, I said something about yards rushing for Tahlequah, and I was incorrect, so just forget about all that. Let me tell you exactly what the correct stats are. The rushing yardage for Tahlequah in the 3 postseason games thus far has been over 1,000 yards and averaging 330 yards per game. I kind of had that backwards, Eddie, and I really messed that up. But anyway, let's tell you about the first half scoring totals. First downs, Carl Albert had 9, Tahlequah with 2. yards rushing. It was 14 carries for 31 yards for Tahlequah, 27 on 111 for Carl Albert. Really running the ball, and Carl Albert getting a lot of yardage thus far in this ball game. And passing, 10 yards passing for Tahlequah, 57 yards passing for the Titans. Rushing yards lost, 13 against Tahlequah and 9 against Carl Albert. The pass attempts and completions looks like this for Tahlequah. 2 attempts, one complete, no interceptions. 5 and 3, 5 attempts, 3 complete for Carl Albert, no interceptions. Total offensive yards, 41 for Tahlequah, 168 for Carl Albert. On the punts, as we told you, Tahlequah had 40.5 averaging for 2 punts and 21.5 yards average for 2 punts for Carl Albert. In penalties, none for Tahlequah. Carl Albert had that one big clipping penalty for 15 yards in the ball game. And the scoring, of course, a couple of touchdowns. One touchdown by Berrien. See, it's not on here, but I know I wrote it on my own sheet here. So it was a 29-yard touchdown pass from Strickland to Berrien, and then the other touchdown was a Strickland 2-yard keeper up over the middle. So we're getting set now to start the second half of play. Earlier in the game, we told you a little bit about, I think we talked about Tahlequah High School, Eddie, and this half we'll talk a little bit about Carl Albert. Here we go on the opening kickoff. Returning the ball for Tahlequah. Looks like number 35, Greg Barnes, one of our academic all-stars, Ed.
He sure is our academic all-star. And I want to mention a name also while I'm here real quick. Carl Albert High School has a senior counselor that works with the students. Her name's Joyce Honey, H-O-N-E-Y. That's how she pronounced it. And that person is so dedicated. She really gets involved with her young people as far as getting them the right ways to get their education in the right places.
Here's a pitch out on the left side after being just hit in the legs and able to stay on his feet goes Craig Reisenhoover.
Here we're going to see it again. This is a great option right here. See that? The defensive end comes in there. He throws that ball, and I'll tell you, if he could keep his balance, there's no one out there, and he would have picked up a lot of yardage out there. That was a great play.
It'll be 2nd down and 7. The ball on the Tahlequah 42-yard line. In the opening minute of the third quarter, here's a pitch in the flats. It is Craig Reisenhoover with the pass complete. Garrett Davis and Damon Turner on that tackle.
Hey, Jeff, they lost 2 yards on that play when I said it was a great play. Let me say the perfection of that play, the way they did it was great. I mean, it would have been a much greater play if he would have kept his balance and made more yardage.
Well, the way Reisenhoover was able to keep his balance and stay on his feet was pretty move. Is it a handoff or isn't it? Is it a handoff or isn't it? Is it a handoff?
No, that was an option right there. And,
well, I don't think quarterback Hammer could decide which option he was going to take on that one as he was trying to give it to...
Here we're going to see it again. Here we come out here, and I'll tell you what, the defense makes that play. They grab both the runner and the quarterback, see, so you don't have anything to do, and I think he picks up at first yard down.
Well, quarterback Dwayne Hammer wanted to make sure that Greg Barnes had the ball in his hands before he let go.
Which is good.
That looked kind of interesting there. 1st down and 10, the ball right at the midfield stripe. Orange and white stripe for the Oklahoma State Cowboys, who play their games here at Lewis Field. And going over the middle this time, Greg Barnes again. And the flag is thrown on that play.
There is a flag.
See if we can see indication goes against Tahlequah. Could be.
That's again a big one, too.
Well, Carl Albert called on a clipping penalty in the first half. Now maybe Tahlequah gets the clipping call. So with the ball being at 1st and 10 on the 50, they're going to mark that ball back 15 yards all the way down to the 35. Not good news for the Tigers. I think, Eddie, what they wanted to do was come out running, come out, fired up. And this can take a little bit of the wind out of their sails.
It sure does take momentum out of them. There's your papers, Jeff.
On 1st and 25, not getting any running room is Greg Barnes.
I'll tell you, Jeff, the hole was there, but boy, it closed real quick with good defense by Carl Albert.
Carl Albert High School has an enrollment of approximately 750 students. The principal over there, we'd like to say hi to Rick Backman and his vice principal, Mrs. Connie Miller. The school is proudly flying the flag of scholastic excellence this year as having a National Merit Scholarship finalist, and the girls basketball team captured the state playoffs last year. Congratulations to those girls on the basketball team. On the pitch out, Craig Reisenhuber. Reisenhuber finding an opening on the left side. Breaks out over almost to the midfield stripe, Eddie.
Well, that was some good running right there. That's just a power play to the left, giving the halfback and letting him go. He had some good blocking in front of him, and he picks up about, well, I thought they were close to a first down, but it's not. It's they got about 13 yards to go now, I believe, Jeff. Yeah, 13 yards to go.
The Carl Albert High School marching band is under the direction of Roger Sharp. The drum majors there are Kathy Ironman and Paul DeAndre. Here's a pass from Hammer, and it's way long. Eddie, he didn't have anybody with the speed to get down there that quick. George Hilligas was the intended receiver. Both of those drum majors for the Carl Albert High School marching band have 4+ grade point averages. We got a little break on the field. No, we don't.
No, they're just punting.
Okay. Thought we were going to take a break. 4th and 13. The Tigers will have to punt the ball away. And the Titans just let the ball roll. It'll be knocked down at the 14-yard line. And now we'll take a break. Our score, Carl Albert 14, Tahlequah nothing. Back to the action after the Tahlequah Tigers had to punt the ball over to Carl Albert Titans. Now Albert will take over on offense with the ball at the 13-yard line, 1st and 10. On the handoff. Looks like Bobby Jackson on that carry.
That's great defense pursuit right there. All you seen was white jerseys around Bobby Jackson. You can see the shadow of the field, Jeff, as I was telling you before, how it was covering some of the, I think all of Carl Albert's players. Now it's out there. The sun is taking over right now, so it's a lot warmer down there.
It'll be 2nd and 6. Ball at the 18 on a handoff, running up the middle.
Oh, there was nothing there. Boy, that was good defense that time. Nothing, Jeff.
This time it was Russell Berrien who carried the ball for the Titans, Eddie. Let me take a look at that's Coach Cooper over there on the Tahlequah sideline.
He's doing an excellent job at Tahlequah, too.
Well, this is his 10th year at Tahlequah, 5th year in the playoffs, and the 3rd straight year in a row that the Tigers have made the playoffs under Coach Cooper. 3rd and 5 now. On the handoff, going to Berrien once again. He gets out over the line of scrimmage and close to the 1st down marker.
Did a little high hurdle right there and jumped over a player and picked up some yardage, but they're still short.
Greg Barnes on the tackle. We'll watch it again.
Here, this is just the turnaround handoff to the halfback. Watch him. There he does that little hurdle right there. Good blocking. They were going to say, no, you're not going to get that 1st down. We want that ball back.
They didn't get the 1st down, as you said, Eddie. So on 4th down, they'll have to punt the ball away. Tahlequah picks up the ball at about the 40-yard line. On the return is number 35, Greg Barnes. Barnes gets all the way down, too close to the Albert 40 before he goes out of bounds.
And again, Greg Barnes was our academic all-star. Real good, excellent student, good athlete.
All right, let's go down to the sideline now and get a word from our sideline reporter, Jeff Bowen.
Talking with the Tahlequah coaching staff over the halftime, they seem to say that they're very pleased with the way they've handled the football so far in the 1st half. They hope to do more of the same in the 2nd half. They just need to get something going at the line of scrimmage and maybe drive Carl Albert off the football for a change. Back to Jeff.
All right, well, thank you, Jeff. Jeff. Eddie, you got to change your name.
Okay, Jeff.
All right, Jeff. Well, thank you. And that's indeed what they have to do with that line of scrimmage.
That's a big line of Carl Albert, too, that they have to handle up there.
Not an easy task for the Tahlequah team. On a pass, and first down, and it is complete. The ball is complete to Brett Baker. On a beautiful play over the middle, Eddie.
Boy, that was an excellent play. Good fake. Watch this here. This fake is what holds that in now. He pulls it out of there, puts up, boom. And that excellent catch. That's it. Who wants the ball the worst gets it. And that comes up with Brett that's got the ball. Brett Baker.
Also up there trying to receive that was Vince Colbert. He was covering Baker.
Now they're moving good now. We got to keep that ball moving like that.
On the handoff, going up the middle, it looked like Craig Reisenhuber was. Reisenhuber picks up a couple of yards on it.
There's the exciting fans right down there. This is what it's all about. Come on out and enjoy. High school football is best there with Oklahoma high school football.
They're just trying to yell to keep warm, I think, huh?
On TV 47.
That's right.
Oh, boy.
TV 47 salutes Oklahoma education.
Oh, a great runner.
Well, it was the quarterback Hammer, Eddie, that just got through the line of scrimmage and tried to stay on his feet.
This is an excellent play. This is an option right there. And he follows number 35, Greg Barnes right up there, and boy, he just does some good. Oh, an excellent block thrown there too, you've seen, but he just does some good running.
So quarterback Dwayne Hammer now setting something up for his Tahlequah Tigers. Let's see what they can do with the ball at the 11-yard, no, 6-yard line.
6-yard line. First down, Jeff.
It'll be first and goal on the 6-yard line for the Tigers. It is Hammer himself getting inside there, inside the 5.
That was some good ball handling right there. Good faking. And that's what, he faked to Greg. I keep thinking that's Greg Barnes. Greg did a good job of playing like he had that ball to draw them off of there, and the Hammer just kept it and went up in that hole.
I've got an interesting note about Dwayne Hammer to tell you about in just a minute here. Ball on the 2-yard line. Let's see. Hammer tries to take it himself. Does he? Not quite. He's not quite in. He's real close, just about at the line of the end zone. They're going to mark it about the 1.
3rd and 1. Oh, now there's a shot of where we at, Jeff?
We're way up above that.
Above there.
2 floors up.
All right.
And there it is. Baby, it's a touchdown. Dwayne Hammer again. Finally, he gets in by himself, Eddie.
Open the door, barn. Open the barn door. We see another pigskin coming home. All right. Boy, she's collected all those pigskins. Here we see it right now. He keeps it himself, and he goes in there. He wants that pay dirt, and he gets 6 big points.
Well, the 3rd time was a charm for the Cowboy from Tahlequah. I'll tell you about that in just a minute, what I mean. Here goes the extra point attempt. And it is good.
It's good.
So our score now is Carl Albert 14, Tahlequah 7. We'll be back. Welcome back to Stillwater. After the touchdown by quarterback Dwayne Hammer of Tahlequah. And I was mentioning before we went to the break there that Hammer happens to be an amateur rodeo steer wrestler, Eddie. He took 2nd place in the Indian Finals rodeo. this year. Second place in steer wrestling. So
Who's that, Dwayne Hammer?
Dwayne Hammer is a cowboy.
All right. Hey, we want to also mention the people that seen us to have them real nice carnations on our jacket at halftime that they were given to us by Flowers Creation, located at 101 and 101st and Sheraton. And stop into Flowers Creation and get something and say, hey, we seen that nice cassage. And I'm going to say one more thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to have them as my guest on Oklahoma Let's See Live this Wednesday. Let's see, which is the 5th, the 6th. It's the 6th. I'll have, she's going to bring some displays up there showing what's good for Christmas, what people can buy at Christmas time. That's Flowers Creation. We just thank them again.
All right, Eddie. We'd like to thank Mazio's here in Tahlequah for their cooperation today. We had lunch, and well, they made pizzas, and we went over there and bought them. What can I say? But we do want to thank Mazio's for quickly whipping up some pizzas for us. We did need quite a few to feed the whole staff and crew. All right, on the kickoff now. Running the ball back, it's Berrien. Berrien finding some open running room all the way out over the 40-yard line. Oh, baby, Eddie Berrien finding a good line of run.
I'll tell you, one person, here we're going to see it. It was a low kick that he got from the ankle tops, and he got it, and he has some excellent blocking up there, and there's a big alley, and he knows what to do. And look at that, just one player left. There's no one after that, and if he would have went for another big 6 points.
Gerard Hood on the tackle there for Tahlequah. First and 10, now the ball at the Albert 42-yard line. Quarterback Strickland gets the ball to Berrien, who gets about a yard on that run. He's tackled by Jeff Bollinger.
There we have some good fans down there watching, and then
how you doing, Tex?
Yes, sir.
A couple of Tahlequah fans.
You know what I like, Jeff? You see all ages out here watching high school football at its finest on TV 47. Look at the size of those guys. Woo. 261 pounds, that line right there that you see from Carl Albert is averaging.
4 down lineman for Tahlequah. It's a handoff this time. It goes to Bobby Jackson. Bobby Jackson out over the middle. And over the 50-yard line inside the 45. Greg Barnes on the tackle.
This is a delayed draw. He goes back there and he takes the ball right to him, and he's looking. That's that quarterback's responsibility to get that ball in there. That lineman is looking for the hole to open. I mean, that back. And he takes off up in there, and he picks up the necessary yards for the first down.
Well, you saw Barnes, as I mentioned earlier, the only way you're going to take Jackson down is by his shoestrings, and Barnes just wrapped his arms around Jackson's ankles and pulled him down. It'll be first 10, ball at the Tahlequah 45. The handoff this time not as successful as Jackson barely gets back to the line of scrimmage, and he's met there by a wall of Tigers, a pride of Tigers, I should say, probably.
Bobby Jackson, a senior, 6'2", 220. We mentioned that before, but I'll tell you, there's scouts around here from other schools, from colleges. They're just looking at these players right now, and they're giving it their best out there because they want to get that scholarship to go to school.
That's right. I'm sure a lot of college scouts will be watching these ball games in state championships. A draw, handoff to Berrien. Berrien running, trying to go on the right side, unable to. He is tackled there by David Hallmark and Gerard Hammer.
That is real good pursuit, Getting out there to stop the man.
It's number 43, it looks like. Brian Smith of Tahlequah, who's injured. And on the sideline, really looks like he's in a lot of pain. I don't know where the injury, though, is. It may be a leg injury. We have a minute and 35 left to go in this third quarter of play. Eddie, this game seems to be just moving along quite quickly.
That sure is. You're right. We're almost into the fourth quarter.
3rd and 6 from the 41. Strickland to throw. He has a man over the middle.
Good defense.
Oh, and a possible Tahlequah a little upset. A possible interference, maybe.
I like the way Strickland gets back there. Look at him. He's looking already, looking for things to happen. And that's what you got to do as a quarterback. And he throws that pass like that. And it's good hard defense out there that knocks that ball down. Garrett Davis.
Was the intended receiver on that. Clock is stopped. Minute 23, left in the third. Albert will punt the ball away. And the Tahlequah receiver, Barnes, takes it from the 10-yard line before he's hauled down at about the 18 by number 30 of Carl Albert. Ted Gibson, actually number 25. Hey, I don't know where I saw 30. James Sullivan, I think, too, out there, but I don't know where.
Okay, you know, Greg Barnes is really a workhorse for them, and he's 6'1", 195 pounds. That's good size, too.
That's a pretty good size for a fullback.
And, you know, with his schoolwork, I mean, the academic standards that he has, I'll tell you, there'll be a lot of colleges up for that young man, because he is a good ball player.
First and 10, the ball is at the 18 as Tahlequah takes over. Reisenhofer gets out close to about the 20. Garrett Davis on the tackle. We'd like to thank Heritage House, located on Memorial Drive, for allowing...
Whoa, whoa, there's the gust of wind that come through, the hurricane. All right.
Second down and 8.
Nowhere to go. Good defensive play.
Absolutely nowhere to go.
You might want to tell the people what we were laughing about right now, Jeff. Where that wind came from, I do not know, but our papers almost went off.
Reisenhofer has just stopped at the line of scrimmage as clock ticks down. 10 seconds left to go in this third quarter of play.
Hey, yeah, we want to encourage the people to get down there to the Heritage House, and it's a place that a lot of TV 47 people go down there. And,
yeah, you might see us there sometime, won't you? Well, at the end of the third quarter of play, Carl Albert 14, Tahlequah 7. We'll be back. Well, here we go as we start the fourth quarter on a keeper. This is quarterback Dwayne Hammer taking the ball on the left side. Hammer gets hammered.
Hammer gets hammered.
So
yeah, but Hammer can take that. If he's a rodeo man, he can take it. But still, yeah.
Hey, if you can wrestle a steer, you can take a few hits. Well, Eddie, we've got a report, I think, on the injured Brian Smith that we saw on the sideline earlier. But after this play, we're going to send it down there and check up with Jeff Bowen and see what he might have. I know he's got an injured player report, and it may be that Brian Smith that we saw earlier. So right after this play, we want to send it down to Jeff. On fourth down now, Tahlequah have to punt the ball away. And they do. Out of the 50-yard line. It is for Carl Albert, Chris Tillman. We're going to head down to the sideline now and get a report from Jeff Bowen.
Thank you very much, Jeff. An injury report on the injured player, Billy Smith. Appears that he took a helmet to the back, as you can see where one of the trainers is rubbing his back right now. Right now, it's very questionable whether or not he will be back into the ball game. We'll keep you posted. Back up to Jeff.
Oh. Man, that is a more serious injury than what we really had expected. We didn't know what had happened, but a helmet to the back can be a very,
he'll be back
devastating blow, and we wish Smith all the best of luck down there on the sideline. As Berrien carries the ball this time, getting out over the middle. Jeff Bollinger makes the tackle, helped out by Greg Barnes. As we see Barnes active today, Eddie.
He is very active. Greg Barnes, right? All over that field.
Jeff Bollinger also on that tackle. That's where you heard the Jeff.
Hey, now we want to mention also now the Heritage House is also at 3900 Northwest 63rd, Oklahoma City.
That's right.
People get out there and enjoy a good meal.
On the handoff, Berrien this time again. It's down close to the 40.
Now we're talking about Brian Smith that got a helmet to the back. The emotional status of this game will get him up and going in that game. You watch.
10 minutes left to go in this game. 14-7 is the score as Carl Albert leads Tahlequah.
Tahlequah needs this ball. They need the ball. They need to stop this drive and get that ball so that they can do their thing.
Here's the handoff, trying to go up the middle and get the first down. Let's see.
That is going to be close.
It's going to be real close. It was number 42 there, as you see him getting up now, Bobby Jackson, who carried that ball and tried to pick up the first down. And no, the ball is right on the 40, and the first down marker is about 4 or 5 inches over the 40.
What would you do, Coach? What would you do? Coach Jeff, what would you do?
Well, I'd definitely give it to Berrien or Jackson again, somebody just to run it up the middle.
I would, you want to know what I'd do?
Strickland sneak it?
Strickland streak it. Sneak it.
Streak it? He better not. He'll get thrown out of the park.
No, I would do a quarterback sneak. That's what I would do.
No, it's going to be a handoff, and it is.
That's going to be close. That is awful close.
Our producer doesn't think so, but I think so.
The clock stopped too. That's a good one. They're going to do a measurement. Well, that's how close it is.
They're going to bring in the chain gang from the sideline over there.
Oh, is it going to be close?
And it all depends really on how they lay that ball down there. You know, because his helmet, his shoulder pads, it looked like he was over.
Oh, he didn't make it.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
And that's eyelash.
Oh my goodness, I cannot believe that.
Oh,
Now, let's watch this again, because I think his shoulders are way over. Watch.
Well, no, I don't know, boy. That's some good defense. Tahlequah did an excellent job. Good going, man. I'll tell you, that was a good defense.
Wow, it was a nice effort by Berrien trying to get in there.
Yes.
Unable to. Hold that Tiger. Now Tahlequah taking over on offense on 1st and 10. It'll be quarterback Hammer keeping the ball himself.
Now they still have a lot of time. 8 minutes and 33 seconds left. What they want to do right now is play a good ball control, do not fumble, and keep moving that ball like 5 yards, maybe 6 yards like Hammer did right now, and they move that ball down or tie the game up.
Well, Eddie, I'll tell you, if Tahlequah scores on this series of downs, they have a good chance of
winning.
Well, yeah, but it will make the game very interesting down to the wire.
That's very interesting right now.
But I think they need to score this series.
Yeah.
You know,
they've got to score this series. They got to score this series.
7:53 left to go. 14-7 as you see our score. Titans leading the Tigers. Tahlequah now. It'll be 3rd and 2. The ball at the 48-yard line. Quarterback Hammer keeps it inside the 45 of Albert.
That's some good running right there by Hammer. Here he goes out there, he fakes, and he sees the open hole right away, and that's what you do. That is what you do. You cut up like that, and you lower the boom, and boom. When I say lower the boom, you put that head down and just get as much yardage as you can. That's smart quarterbacking.
You know, Eddie, both of these quarterbacks today,
we're going to take
there is a timeout on the field, so we'll take a timeout too. We'll talk about the quarterbacks when we come back. Carl Albert 14, Tahlequah 7. Welcome back. 7:38 left to go in this game as the Titans lead the Tigers 14-7. The ball at the 44-yard line. 1st and 10 for Tahlequah. The handoff. Craig Reisenhuber. John Porter on the tackle.
And they're moving that ball 4 or 5 yards at a clip, and this is what they need to do. They're keeping possession of that ball, and they're moving down the field.
2nd and 6. 3 down linemen for Albert. Hammer on a keeper again. And And what I was going to mention, Eddie, before we went away to the break, was that both of these quarterbacks aren't afraid to keep the ball and run it themselves.
Neither of them, Bud. They're doing some great running, great call playing. And if you've seen right now, I just want to give credit where Carl Albert's due right now. That was an option play right now. They had a man go out there with the option pitch back, which he was covered. The quarterback had nowhere to go, and that stopped that play with no gain.
Both options were eliminated on that play. Third and 6, the ball on the 40. Again, an option, a fake handoff and a pass. The ball bounces incomplete. Pass was intended for Keith Roselle, the tight end.
That was a miracle of Hammer getting that, but he did a great job of just getting that ball off. They were right on him immediately. And if he'd have had just another second or two, he would have got that guy that was open.
Roselle, 6'1", 170-pound senior, playing tight end today for the Tigers.
Listen, you got to go for it. This is an all-out game. You came too far right now. 6 minutes, 32 seconds.
Well, they are. They're going to go for it on 4th and 6, Eddie, from the 40. Let's see. Pro set formation, setting a man in motion. Split ends. Oh, and Hammer has a... Oh!
No!
Oh, my. That was Jeff Cottrell. Jeff Cottrell, the intended receiver, unable to hang on to that pass, Eddie.
I know Jeff feels bad.
Dwayne Hammer, as we'll watch it again, oh, I'm sorry, we're not going to watch it again. My fault on that one. But Hammer had his legs were wrapped by somebody's arms. I mean, I didn't see.
Yeah, he was in the grasp of a couple players back there, and he still got that. He did an excellent job. And Cottrell feels real bad because he should have had that, but you still got 6:27 left to go, and they can do something.
Boy, on that play, not much. Let's see there.
That's a good 7-8 yards on that play.
Berrien, he gets out there and really not much coverage there at the line of scrimmage as he was able to break through and pick up about 7 yards, as you said, Eddie.
Had some good blocking on that line, and he got the rest of it on sure. Get and go.
Calling it 6 on the scoreboard, so it'll be 2nd down and 4. The ball now at the 47-yard line of Albert. Now, what the Titans want to do, if they really want to lock this game up, is score on this series of downs, of course. The handoff this time, let's see, I think it was Jackson this time for 45. Or 42, excuse me. I think it's 45. 42 for Jackson and 24 for Berrien.
Tahlequah got to get the ball back. They got to get the ball back because the clocks are running now, and you got 3rd down and about 2 to go, and it's getting now where it's getting serious.
Ball at the 48-yard line.
Oh, good defensive, very good defensive play.
On the handoff. Just back to the line of scrimmage, Eddie. Really not making up any yardage on this play. Keith Baker on the tackle.
Here we're going to see where it's again. He fakes to the fullback, gives the left half doing a scissor cross, comes over there, and great defensive play.
Berrien was unable to get very far on that play, so after a quick 4 downs, the Titans will have to punt the ball away. And it is a nice high spiral all the way down to the 20-yard line.
Fair catch.
And fair caught there by Greg Barnes at the 20, so that's where Tahlequah will take over. Now, Eddie, there is just under 4.5 to go, 4:29 left to play in this game. Tahlequah, as we mentioned earlier, should have scored on that last series of downs. But still, they have a lot of time left. They can do it now and still...
They sure can do it now because they're a powerhouse of a team, and they can move down there. 4 minutes is a lot of time to score a touchdown. And, I know they're going to go into sudden death. You won't have, if it's a tie, they're not going to go away. You can't have 2 champs. So they've got to get that ball down the field right now.
And Carl Albert will have to put on some heavy defense, as they do, into the backfield. The handoff was to Barnes, and Barnes almost wasn't able to get across the line of scrimmage, Eddie, but he did make a nice little spin move and break some open room.
He sure did. There was nothing there for him, and he strictly got all that 2 yards on his own.
4 minutes left to go in the game. 2nd down and 8. The ball at the 22. As you see, the shadows are extending even longer now. There's the pitch to Greg Barnes. Barnes on the right side runs out of bounds.
Which is real good, which stops the clock.
At about the 31-yard line. Let's go down to the sideline now and check in with our reporter, Jeff Bowen.
Jeff, you and Eddie were talking a little bit earlier about the fact that the AstroTurf being new to these ball players. Well, it is very new. Luckily, the turf hasn't caused many injuries so far tonight. Only one little bit of a knee twist. It's been not too bad. The only thing these players have been complaining about is the burn, because this is a rug. Back to you, Jeff.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. Getting a little bit of brush burns down there on the field, Eddie, just on the tackles themselves. And there we see Hammer getting nailed at about the 30-yard line, maybe about the 29, actually. He picks up a couple of yards on that carry, Eddie.
Boy, you got to go for it now, Jeff. I mean, you're getting down into 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. You've got to go for it. And you see the coach over there right now. You don't want to punt. You want to go for it right now. This is the whole season right now. I can tell the coach is saying, listen, 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Everything we did this year is involved right now. I always say, why play all the games? This displayed to 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
4th and 1. Let's see what they do. 4 down lineman for Albert. Going right over the line of scrimmage and picking up the first down, indeed. Teehee, let's see. Not sure what number that was. Could have been Hammer, I think, had the lead block.
That will go to John Waters and Sullivan.
So now the Tigers with another first down. The ball at the 32. They needed that, desperately needed that.
They needed
first
that
down.
to keep it going.
Sending Barnes in motion.
Oh, big flag right there. You've seen that on. That's this little excitement, enthusiasm down there where a player wants to do his, get his job done before everybody else does. That's all.
It looked like Matt Rader, the tight end on that right side for Tahlequah. That's who it was as we see them, number 53. 3:02 left to go in the game.
Jeff, we've got to start thinking about our MVP for this game, too.
First down and 15 yards to go. Giving the ball to Barnes. He's tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Actually pushed back for another 5 yards for a loss, Eddie, yeah.
Off sitting up here, you could just see how it opened up real nice. And boy, all you do is see red jerseys coming in and closing that big hole.
After the 5-yard penalty and after that 5-yard loss, now it'll be 2nd down and that wasn't a 5-yard loss. Excuse me, that was only a loss for a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 16. Hammer trying to find some rope and running room, and he breaks a couple of tackles to get out over the 30, close to the original line of scrimmage.
Hammer, you can put the ball.
Here we see it right now. He goes back and he sees they're covered. He does a good move right there of faking him out, and Hammer is playing an excellent game. He's coming up here and he's picking up yardage that anybody else probably would have not have gotten as many yards as Hammer did that time. Good running by Hammer.
We'll soon have to start thinking about our most valuable player of this game, sponsored by Barnett Oldsmobile. That pass is short, incomplete, intended for Brett Baker.
And again, if Hammer had just a little bit more time, they've got to give him a little bit more time because he can thread the needle. When you get a lot of pressure on you like that, you just don't have the time because the receiver was open. Now there's a big decision. 4th down. I mean, there's no decision of what you got to do. I mean, it's the play.
Yeah, what kind of play are they going to go with on 4th and 10 from the 31? 3 men on the right side. And Hammer, when he hits the ground, he fumbles the ball. I don't think so. I think it was dead.
It's 4th down anyway, and I think it's just...
All right, I think the play was called dead, so Titan will take over. Our score right now is Carl Albert 14, Tahlequah 7. right, Eddie, back to the action now. It'll be first down and 10. The ball at the 34-yard line. Carl Albert Titans will take over from Tahlequah's 34. Here's the handoff. Berrien takes the ball up the middle, picks up about 3 yards on that play, Eddie, with only 1:04 left to go now in this ball game.
All right, we want to stop that clock right now. That's what the coach is thinking on Tahlequah. Let's call timeout. I think they got all their timeouts left. And, of course, on the other side, Carl Albert's saying, okay, all we got to do is just let's make a little bit of yardage on this here, and we can almost say that we can run this clock out. But now, though, I think they have 2 more timeouts left, don't they?
Both teams have only called 1 timeout each. And those coming out early there in that first half.
So actually, Tahlequah has 1 more timeout left? Do they have 1 more? I think they have...
I can't, you know...
I just didn't keep up with that. I'm
my brain is cold.
I thought that they just had...
yeah, 2 timeouts.
2 timeouts left. Good going. Each one on the scoreboard. Can we get a shot of that scoreboard?
Well, I'll tell you.
Boy, you get a good shot down there. You can see 2 timeouts left.
I was trying
on each side, 14-7.
Trying to remember how many timeouts were called. I remember the first 2 in that first half because each team called 1 timeout.
There we go. Good job. Look at that. 2 timeouts left for each team. 1:04 left. Good job.
This game has been moving along so quickly.
Okay, let's kill that clock again. Kill that clock again.
Russell Berrien on that carry.
See that? The coach is listening to me. See that? Now, you're talking 1:04. 5 seconds went past right now. Only.
That's too bad.
And we got to...
Because I know Carl Albert wanted to run off more than 5 seconds.
I know. That's what they're thinking. They're saying, now, wait a minute. We got to get more yardage than that.
Okay.
Some of the better ways of getting more yardage...
Timeout was called down there, Eddie, by Tahlequah now.
Oh, I'm glad you're getting with the game, Jeff.
Getting with the game.
I told you another timeout was called. But anyway, what I'm saying is what Carl Albert's thinking about is this. Carl Albert's saying, now listen, up the middle's not killing the clock. What would you do, Jeff? Wouldn't you go around the ends?
Yeah, well,
skirt out around those ends, where you...
The longest way to the point. Everybody says the quickest way is a direct line. Well, right now I would take the longest way because you don't care about the time. We got time. Carl Albert's thinking we got time to waste. Let's waste it. 3rd and 6 right now. The ball on Tahlequah's 30.
There you go. Now see, that's what I'm trying to do.
Strickland will run around the right side himself, and he fumbles the ball, recovers himself. It looks like. I think Strickland. Yeah, he did. He jumps on his own football.
I think he got his own fumble.
And look at the Tahlequah Tigers are just pushing and shoving. They want to get that any way they can. As we'll watch that again, Eddie, as he runs to the right.
There he is. That's what I'm saying, how to kill that clock boards. Just keep running out there like that. Skirt the ends. Now he cuts back, and you see where he comes up there and he gets hit pretty hard where that ball squirts out and he gets it back.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
It's got to be too cold for this.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Coach Miller, listen to us. You're going to get it.
Oh, 17 seconds, Eddie. We're run off the clock on that play. The players are saying to our cameraman, they're going, wait a minute.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Maybe after this play, okay, let's run this one play, and then we're going to douse him with this ice water. And I would be mad on a day like today. Woo! It's cold.
You know what, Jeff? I'm thinking also, look where that ball is. You got it on your 31-yard line. Now, when I came out here the other day, I seen some field goals that was kicked from about the 35 to 40-yard lines. And I wonder if they had a field goal kicker on that team that could do that.
Carl Albert?
Yeah. I know that our 5A game coming up, I did see Edmund.
Albert's kicker is Brent Brockington. And I don't know if we'll get to see Brent out here or not. Let's see. This time it's Berrien on the carry.
Oh, he didn't
to the
make
line
it.
of scrimmage, and I don't think he got the first down. He's about a yard short still, Eddie.
Even though there's no timeouts left for the Tigers, the ball stops right now. The clock stops so that the other team can get in there and the referees get the right placement down. But that clock is going to start when that referee says, let's go, boys. 38 seconds to go, and that's hinging on the whole season. 38 seconds with 7 points behind.
Well, I'm watching Coach Miller on the sideline, waiting to see if he gets doused with that bucket of water, that big jug. Hammer throws. He has an open man on the right side. Pass complete to Matt Weir. Number 14, Matt Weir.
That took about 13 seconds too, so what we got to do is cut that down because we want to get about 6 to 7 seconds off that clock each time. 25 seconds left in the game.
2nd and 1 from the 35. A pass. Oh, an open man on the left side.
That was a close play. That was a close play right there. We're going to see it right now.
The open man was Brett Baker. Tillman came in to break up the play.
Here we go. He's rolling out where he can see the receivers much better. He throws that. Now, this is what I'm saying, a close play. Now, is this interference, Jeff, or what?
No.
It's both playing for the ball, we'd say.
I think Chris Tillman there was just sticking a hand up to try to knock the ball down.
Right. Now we're down to 20 seconds. And see, that play only took 5 seconds. That's what I'm telling you. That's what we need to do.
3rd down 1 now from the 35. Dropping to throw is Hammer. Oh, and it is a completed pass.
But you got to hurry up. There's no timeout left. Let's go,
Craig Reisenhoover on that volley makes the catch. The clock stops just for the placement of the ball. Let's watch the referee wind up his arms. He'll start the clock. He should by now. All right, there they go. Now they're starting the clock. 10. Hammer looking to throw, looking long. Intercepted. Albert intercepts the ball. That'll stop the clock at the 3.
I hope get that cameraman down there now. They're going to doge the coach, man.
Here it goes.
Here it goes.
Oh, no. They stopped. Oh, they stopped.
Woo, that was close. I seen it down there in the
They want to wait for the end of the game. Look at all these people on the field, though. They've got to get Carl Albert back on the sideline, and there it is.
There's the end of the game.
That's the final play. He gave his number, and Coach Al Miller is just soaking wet with ice water. A very happy Titan squad as they win the 4A state championship game, 14-0 over Tahlequah. We'll be back to wrap it up. Welcome back. Our final score was Carl Albert of Midwest City 14, Tahlequah Tigers 7, in a very well-played football game today. I mean, it was great.
It was a great game. Both teams have nothing to be ashamed of. Tahlequah did an excellent job. Greg Barnes looked great. Hammer looked good for Tahlequah, and it was just an exciting game.
A very exciting ball game, and unfortunately for Tahlequah, they were unable to put enough of those series of runs together.
They couldn't get it together. I mean, when they would get something going, a penalty would stop them, like that happened a couple times.
Or a couple of times they'll meet the line of scrimmage, a head-on wall several times, as we were talking about that big Carl Albert front line.
That's right, 260-pound average.
Let's talk about the scoring in the ball game. In the first half, it was Carl Albert on a 29-yard touchdown pass from Strickland to Berry, and that scored the first touchdown, and the extra point was good, 7-0. A 2-yard keeper by Strickland later in the half. The extra point was good, 14-0 was our score at halftime. In the second half of play, it was a quarterback keeper by Hammer. He tried. The third time was the charm from 1 yard out, and Hammer put it in to get on the board for Tahlequah. Well, when we come back, we're going to introduce to you our most valuable players, sponsored by Barnett Oldsmobile. Welcome back. It's time now to announce our most valuable player, sponsored by Barnett Oldsmobile. And Eddie, today's most valuable player is?
Strickland, Chad Strickland.
The quarterback of Carl Albert High School. Congratulations go to Chad Strickland from Channel 47 and Barnett Olds. And here we see the keeper by Strickland from a yard out, which made the score 14-0. on a nice play, and this is the trophy, and we've had this on the graphic every week. Hold it up a little high.
A little high right there.
And we've had it on the graphic every week, and I've mentioned, you can't tell how big it is, but it is big.
Yeah, we want to thank Barnett Oldsmobile for doing this for us.
As you can see, it's about as tall as I am. Now,
Right.
Anyway, we're going to get some final closing comments from our sideline reporter on the field right now, Jeff Bowen. Jeff?
Chad Strickland, the most valuable player of the game. You lost in the second round last year. How does it feel to lead your team to the state finals and the championship?
This is the greatest feeling in the world. I've never felt anything like it. I've been to the state finals in basketball, but it wasn't anything like this. This is a great feeling.
What did you expect that type of ball game tonight? Ball control. That's exactly the way you guys play.
Right. Yeah, we saw films on them. They didn't throw the ball a whole lot, so we figured the game. We figured the game would be won on the defensive line and the offensive line, and they did the job today. And we, hit a couple of passes and. We did it.
And you did a good job yourself.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much, and congratulations on the most valuable player. Congratulations on the state championship. That's it from the field. Back up to you, Jeff.
All right, well, thank you very much, Jeff, and congratulations once again to Chad Strickland, a fine young gentleman and a great quarterback for that Carl Albert Titan squad. Eddie, this being our final broadcast, as it is tape delayed and aired later than the 5A game that we will have done live on Saturday evening. And I'd really like to thank you for all your help and cooperation all season long on the broadcast. You've done an excellent job, and as I mentioned in that article, and I was going to mention earlier in the broadcast, and didn't get a chance to, but last week in Friday's edition of the Tulsa Tribune, a nice, beautiful article written by Barry Lewis and mentioning you, and he called me up. He wanted to know a little bit about, what I had to say, and I'll say it in public. I think you've improved over the season, and we've had a great time and lots of fun.
Well, it was a pleasure working with you, Jeff, and I'll tell you, I love the game of football and sports I love, and especially dealing with the young people like this, and this is what makes it all possible,
Well, hopefully, with the help of our sponsors, and Lord willing, we'll be back next season to bring you high school football right here on TV 47. Thanks to our whole crew and our staff here on TV 47, Jeff Brooklary and Eddie John saying so long.